Hello, my friends, and welcome to our last class in this updated 10 class series for 2026. After this class, you can begin the training and get into the real details of how to do this business. But it was very important that we went through these 10 classes because it just sets you up before the training, right? So once you get to the training, like everything is going to be very clear, very strong foundation you're going to build after this. So let's get into it. Moving outside of Amazon. I want to tell you this early on. So when you do start this, you always have it in the back of your mind while you're building your Amazon business to try to find ways and systems to move outside of Amazon while you're building your Amazon business. In this class, let's talk about life and business outside of the Amazon world. Once you enter the Amazon world or the world of Amazon, it goes beyond just selling on Amazon. It's more like you are entering a world full of opportunities, starting with selling on Amazon. If you can find those opportunities, learn and master them, then add it into your business, you will become successful way beyond just Amazon. Even Amazon as a company also has many different branches of business. They own Whole Foods, they have AWS Network, one of the biggest networks in the whole world. They have Amazon Prime, Twitch, Audible, Ring, Alexa, Kindle, and so on. And they also sell on Amazon billions of dollars a year, tens of billions of dollars a year. They also sell on Amazon, especially their own brand, which is Amazon Basics, billions of dollars worth of it. And it all started with them selling used books online. That's how Amazon started, selling used books online. And now, if you search on Google, um, let me actually show you. So if I just take you here, you can see like businesses Amazon owns. Like, let me try to open that one and maybe open this one, see what we can see. Not that. I think this might be the list. Is this the list? Um, this one. Okay, so here's kind of like a little bit of it, not all of it, but a little bit of it. They own like all these different companies, right? All these different companies under Amazon. So Amazon is it's not just Amazon. It's like they own like 1,000 other businesses, more than 1,000. And they own shares in different companies and a bunch of things. But it all started with them selling on Amazon or selling used books online on this platform they built and they named it Amazon. Okay. So even they do this. So you can see this is your starting point. And once you master the skills here, then you can take the knowledge, experience, and expertise you learned from it and do other businesses. Mastering Amazon. First things first, for you to be able to take your skills and expertise outside of Amazon, you must first become an expert within Amazon. This ranges from setting up your company and building your business foundations, learning all about your Amazon Seller Central account and selling products on Amazon, marketing, social media, finding products, creating partnerships, learning to work with the software tools, learning about IP, counterfeit, supply chain, how brands and suppliers work, how to place purchase orders, how to import and export products, what types of categories and products you should work with, how to overcome challenges, and more. Note, this is all just a part of what you will learn in the training and from doing the business. The person you become will be much more valuable than any money you make. So while you're doing this training and while you're building this business, the person you become is the most important thing because you may not be able to turn this into a multi-million dollar business, but the person you become in the process can make a multi-million dollar business. That's the point. Hitting your goals. The best practice for this business is to set a goal you want to achieve in a certain timeline that is long enough to give yourself time to learn and to make good decisions and grow. Not something unrealistic, such as wanting to make $1 million in the first or second year. That will take a little bit of time. Building up capital, partnering with good brands, and so on. So, making $1 million is not super easy. It's very doable in this business with Amazon, but it's going to take you some time. So if you set a goal too big for yourself with a short amount of time, you will fail and then you will be very disappointed that you didn't hit it, even though it's just very unrealistic, right? So we are not trying to make selling on Amazon our lifelong career. We are just smart enough to use their customers, platform, fulfillment, and systems to create a positive cash flow business that will pay us 24/7, that brings us the customers and does the fulfillment for us across the country and even multiple countries and handle almost everything for us. I recommend setting a real goal for yourself depending on your life situation, your age, your available capital, kids, responsibility, time you can put in it, and really your desire. So, like, if you have $5,000 in your bank account, you can't really say, like, I want to make $10 million in the next 2 years. You could, you could do it, but it would be you could 100% do it. I've seen people like grow multi-$100 million companies in 3 years, but it's just really difficult. Okay. Like you have to go raise money, you have to have like a unique thing. It's difficult. So typically stay within your lane. Okay. It's kind of like if you drive, a Toyota and you're trying to race a Lamborghini, it's very difficult, right? Because that Lamborghini could be someone that has $2 million in their bank account. And imagine if you have $5,000 in your bank account and no connections, nobody knows you, compared to someone who has $2 million in their bank account and they have a bunch of connections and they have a very strong social media and like hundreds of thousands of followers and people know them and everything. And you both want to make a company that does $5 million in the next 2 years. Who is more likely to succeed? I would argue the stronger person is more likely to hit that goal faster than you. If you're the one that has $5,000 and no connections and no social media and nothing, you can still make that company, but it might take you 4 years instead of 2 years. So you have to be realistic. Some people, so this also depends on your goal, right? Like this really depends on your goal. And then another thing is like your age, your kids, your responsibilities. Like there's some people I look at online and I get very jealous, to be honest with you, just between me and you. Like I look at them and they're my age and they're driving these fancy cars and taking private jets and I'm like, what? Like how can I get there? Why don't I have that yet? I've been working my whole life. But then the reality is, I went the route of getting married, creating a family, like being there for my family and enjoying life and all doing different things. And then those people, maybe they didn't do any of that. They didn't get married. They didn't spend any time with their family. All they did was 24/7 work, work, work. They got a few of their friends or other people together, and maybe they had advantages I didn't have, right? Maybe they grew up in a rich family, or they had some connections I didn't have, or they got lucky with something. Like a lot of these people got rich in the past few years are all crypto people. So these are people that bought Bitcoin when it was like $100, right? Or bought Ethereum when it was a couple $100. And all of a sudden they made some big money. And then once you make big money, it's easier to make more money. So we can't really compare with these other people. We just have to look at our situation. Like if you have kids, you have to dedicate a certain amount of your life and your time to your kids. You cannot just ignore your kids and work on the business. You could if you want to. I'm not telling you what to do, but people are different, right? Situations are different. So and goals are different. Like some people don't want that. I have students who are also who have become my friends that are that like when I tell them, I say to them, I'm gonna buy a McLaren, sometime soon. They're like, oh, spending $300,000 on a car, that's crazy. They don't want that. They just want a Tesla, 60, $70,000 car. They're very happy with it, or even a Toyota. Like my neighbor in my house, he's very successful. He makes two to $300,000 per year here in Vancouver in Canada, and he doesn't even think about cars. He just had two kids, and he's very happy. He's got two kids. He's got a dog. He owns his house. He has a great job. He doesn't want a fancy car. He doesn't want a private jet. So it depends also on your goals. Some people just want to make $2,000 to $3,000 profit per month from this and keep their full-time job. Okay, so they want to make $2,000 to $3,000 a month that pays for their rent, their mortgage, their car insurance, everything, and then their full-time job just is like savings for them, right? Savings. Some people want to be able to make enough money to quit their job and have this be their own and full-time business. So they want to make like $4,000 to $6,000 profit per month. Some people have bigger goals of making $10,000 plus profit per month and are willing to go all in into this business, time and money wise. They want to travel, they want freedom of their time, they want the finer things in life, and they want their own company. And there are some that don't have kids, which means less responsibility, young enough to take big risks with money. Because if you're 40, 45, 50 years old, and let's say you have $30,000 in savings, it's very risky to put all of that risk it, right? Me personally, I would probably do it, but I don't know if most people would, right? Like at that, I have a lot of friends who are between 40 to 60 years old. I get along with them much better than I get along with people who are younger than me. Um, and I understand them, right? And I see them, and I'm like, I could see like them taking that risk. If it doesn't work out, it means they're 50 years old and they have zero savings. That's the worst case if it doesn't work out. But for someone who's 25, 30 years old, no kids, no responsibility, if they lose their savings or something happens, they have a lot of time to then gain it back. So that's kind of the difference. Young enough to take big risks with money, have a high tolerance for risk, and really want the crazy lifestyle like private jets, Ferrari, penthouse, and so on. That's $30,000 plus profit per month. To achieve this level, you must sacrifice certain things like spending time with family, friends, going out, and most of your life and your time is spent in your business. I mean, I've achieved this level, thank God. Thank you, God. Knock on wood and beyond. But again, I had to sacrifice. I barely hang out with any friends. I see my family, but very little. And most of my time is spent on the business. I do enjoy it, but I see others my age who are going camping and hiking and traveling and going out together and, going to like each other's houses and having gatherings. I don't do any of that because one, I don't want to because I have this crazy goal of wanting more and more, and two, I have to spend time on this business to maintain my business. If I let it go, I cannot maintain it. So most of your time will be spent in the business if you want the big goals. Whatever your desires are, your own business, more money, more freedom of your time, better dinners, better life for your family and kids, pride, retiring your parents, buying a Ferrari, traveling business or first class, showing others, your friends and your family, and even yourself what you are made of in this world that we all leave eventually one day. None of us are going to live forever. You can achieve it from this moment forward. I promise you. Anything you want in your life from this right here, this module, this second, you can achieve in your life. However, and it doesn't matter what age you are, like what your situation is, you can achieve what you want from this moment forward. However, because we don't want to put all of our eggs in the Amazon basket, just set a money goal. And once you hit that, Diversify so your risk is much lower. Even though being in the business of buying physical products is already low risk because those products are basically real estate that don't expire, except some products that do expire, like groceries and stuff. And you can sell them through different channels, unlike crypto or stocks where you do not actually own anything. So when you put your money in like crypto or stocks, if it goes down and you lose your money, that's it. The money's gone. You don't have anything left. But when you're buying physical products, even if like the number of sellers goes up and you cannot sell your products anymore or something happens, it's still physical inventory that you get to have, and you can sell it on Facebook Market, you can sell it on eBay, on Shopify, your own website, sell it to other retail stores, use it, give it to people. It's physical assets. Once you hit your profit per month goal, start thinking how you can create another branch in your business, like a tree. You want to become a tree with many branches. So if one goes bad, you have many others that are green and blooming. Example, for me, once I hit my goal, I saw the market is full of terrible coaching programs, and none of them care about their brand, their name, their reputation, or their students. So I gained a ton of experience that nobody has in this industry because I spent a lot of money on training and worked 15-hour days for years, plus 10 years of previous business experience, plus almost all my family and background are highly educated. So I am very comfortable teaching and educating. And that's why I chose to create an educational program in my company Tree. Some people create software tools, like the owner of Smart Scout and Helium 10 and so on. They all started as Amazon sellers. Some people create prep centers, custom brokerages, warehousing, shipping, account management services, account health, and so on. It just depends what you become really good at. Like the owner of Smart Scouts and the owner of Helium 10, they've done hundreds of millions of dollars on Amazon, and then they created Smart Scout, and then they created Helium 10. Me, I got to a certain level and then I created my program. So you have to first become really good at something, and then you create another branch in your tree out of that. Action item for you, I want you to really think about a reasonable profit per month number and set that as your goal. Typically, timelines are a business killer because if you set a timeline of 1 year and you don't hit your goal, you will be disappointed and lose motivation. But keep in mind, if you never give up, you will win at the end. You only lose when you quit. So when you go to the gym and you want to build a nice body, if you go for 2 months, 3 months, and you see no results and you quit, that's it, you lose. That you might as well not even have gone for 3 months to the gym. But if you go for 2 months, no result. 3 months, no result. 4 months, no result. 5 months, you see a little bit of muscle coming out. 6 months, you see you're lifting more weight. 7 months, your wife or your husband notices changes in your body. 1 year, a year and a half, 2 years, you get your results. You're walking around, you're fit, you got the muscles you want, you got everything you want because you never gave up. You kept going, and eventually you got your results. Then, once you hit your goal, take everything you learned, come up with ways you can create a branch in your company tree, and turn it into a service or product. Don't try to copy other people. Really become an expert in something unique and offer it to the market once you are fully ready and capable of delivering results. That's really important. Make sure what you create as a second branch or third branch or fourth branch in your company tree, make sure you can actually get results. Make sure you're good enough to get results. If you don't get results, you're not going to last long. So these are some of the ways that we're going to go through. Going to retail. One way of adding value to your business and creating a new source of income and lowering your risk from Amazon is by working with your brands and suppliers and taking those products to retail. This is what you have to, this is when you have to become an authorized distributor of a brand and you approach retail stores, suppliers, which are like small shops or even as big as Costco or Walmart, and you try to get that brand into those stores. In this case, instead of selling tens of units or hundreds of units at a time on Amazon, you can get orders of 1,000 plus units all at once repeatedly. So that retail store might like order 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 units from you all at once. Or if you take that brand to Costco, Costco might order like 10,000 units from you in one order. With this, you also add value to that brand and they will look at you like a real partner. Another one is becoming a distributor. This is basically your role. You are a distributor starting online and you can elevate your distribution channels to other areas. For example, if you sell electrical equipment, you can approach suppliers in your local area. So these suppliers are people who sell to only electricians, plumbers, contractors. They don't sell to the public. Like you have to actually be an electrician, plumber, whatever, and get an account with them before you can buy from them. And you can supply them with products. Again, you can sell thousands of units at a time and add another channel of distribution to your company. Creating your own brand. This is a simple one, yet very powerful when the timing is right. Creating a brand and your own products takes a lot of time, money, and expertise. If you try to do this too early, you will most likely fail. However, once you hit your goal with our current model, which is doing Amazon FBA reselling branded products, you start making money, you understand how Amazon works, how PPC, which is marketing on Amazon, works, sending your products to Amazon, returns, what categories are best, what products you like to work with, you build connections, and so on. Then you use your resources and expertise to create your own brand and products. It could be made in China or local in Canada or US or any other country. Note, the real benefit of having your uh, the real benefit of having your own brand is control. So this is kind of like when I said, sometimes when I was making this module, some words might have been missed. So this is what it means. The real benefit of having your own brand is control. So you have full control and it's yours. And if you do well and create a real brand and company, one day you can potentially sell that company to a bigger firm for lots of money. This is what most brands do. They build a real business, a real brand, then they sell it to a large firm for millions of dollars. So control is like you have control over the listings, over who can sell your product, who can't sell your product. That's a lot of control that you get. Use your expertise. Lastly, you can use your expertise. I mean, lastly here, right? But you can always come up with your own creative ways. You like these are not strict, to what I'm telling you. You can come up with so many different ideas to create other businesses from this. It's ridiculous. It's unlimited opportunity. I'm just giving you a couple simple examples, okay? You can use your expertise and turn that into a service in your company. For example, you learn how to create listings really well on Amazon, or you learn how to deal with account health violations really well, or you become an expert in marketing on Amazon. You can turn any of these expertise into a service and offer it to people who already do Amazon or even outside of Amazon. Like if you become really good in marketing, you can even create a service where you can help other business owners like coffee shops, restaurants, realtors, local businesses to increase their traffic, get more leads, and get more clients. The only condition here is you really must become an expert first. Because if you take money from people, you must deliver results. Do not take money if you are not confident in your ability to help them. This does not only reflect on your reputation and business, but it is a matter of ethics. You want to be ethical and truthful in the market. Otherwise, you will not last long. There are so many people who just get up and create a service for money, but they are not experts in that field. And very quickly they disappear because disappear from the market because the market will see through it. So if you try to just do something for money, and even you get a few clients and you might even make some money, or maybe you even make big money. If you don't do it properly, if you don't actually give people results, the market as a whole will eventually know that. They will figure it out and you will disappear from the market, right? So you want to build a business that lasts a long time, not a business that you can milk for a little bit of time and then you call it a day. Ethics, like if you're an ethical person, me, I cannot, like if I take money from someone and I don't give them proper results, I can't even sleep. That amount could even be like $20, right? Like I remember I sold a product on Facebook Market and I was so busy and I don't know what price I gave the person. I think it was like $30 or something, and I had the product listed for $50. And they came here and I gave them the product. They gave me $30 and she asked me, she's like, it was $30, right? And I kind of like the way she said it, I felt like maybe I said $20 and she gave me $30. So I didn't pay attention. I was like, yeah, yeah, $30. I took it, I came upstairs, and then I was like, wait a minute, like I think I took too much money. So I ran outside trying to look for her. And then I was like, wait, let me check my phone quickly. So if I took too much, I can call her back and give her her money, like the extra money. And then I checked online and I actually had said 30. So it was correct. But even over $10, I couldn't even live with myself, like knowing, like, even if she didn't know, even if she like actually made a mistake and gave me more money, I could not possibly say, "Oh, it's okay. She didn't know. Let me just take it, put it in my pocket." Li- Never. That will never happen. Okay. So there's a lot of people that will do stuff like this that will, scam people and take money from people, and they easily live with themselves. But I guarantee you, the way this universe works um, is the good that you do will come back to you. The bad that you do will come back to you. That's what I believe works. And that's just the personal opinion I have. But even in terms of business, it's the same thing. If you go to a restaurant and they give you amazing service and everything is great and everything is properly valued, you want to go back there. Or if somebody gives you a service, like you take a coaching program or you take a service from someone and they treat you really well and you feel like you got a lot of value out of it, you want to go back to them. You want to keep working with them, right? But if you take something and you're like, that's it, like I paid this much money and I got this in return, this is crap, then you might not, like you might never go back to them, and you'll always have that in your mind and be like, just like you being the customer, and be like, wow, like remember I paid that guy that much and they did nothing for me, like they actually even damaged my business or whatever. And you won't last long like that. So make sure you can actually deliver for people. Uh, Connect with our community. I am personally super proud of our community. We follow processes, we are ethical, we do this business the right way. We are all experts in something, and we all have real life experience from realtors, dentists, custom workers, accountants, doctors, service providers, banking experts. Everyone is good at something outside of the world on Amazon, outside of the world of Amazon, and we bring our experience into this business. That is why another opportunity is connecting with people in our community to use each other's service and potentially even partner on deals or projects together. This opportunity is upon request only. You do not have access to other clients. For safety and security of our clients, we protect their information and cannot give it out unless both parties want it. Then we connect you guys together. So you do not have access to other clients in this community because our clients are very valuable. Like I value them a lot. They are valuable. They have a lot of experience, and I don't want to share their contact information because they don't want this, right? They want to keep themselves private. Some of them don't even want, they're working for big companies and they don't want their company knowing they're doing this business, right? So I have to keep their information private. But let's say if there is a case where you ask me, you say, Ali, I'm buying a house, I'm making great money with my business, and I want to buy a house. Do you know any realtors? And I'm like, no, I don't know anyone, but we have a student in the community who is also a realtor. Do you want me to introduce you? They say yes. Then I go to the realtor, that student, and I say, hey, I have a client who's looking to buy some real estate. Are you interested if I connect you guys? And you both say yes, we're interested to get connected, then I connect you guys. Okay. Turn free to money. This one's a super cool one. It works 1,000,000%. Have no doubt this works. A quick secret way to make money from nothing. Like, this is crazy how this works. And I only learned this after 3 years of doing this business. Big brands like Zara, even Amazon, a lot of times sell containers full of brand new products they cannot sell anymore, brand new, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars for like under $10,000 or free in some cases. Some small brands selling Chinese products also do this. You can find them online. They give away all their brand new products, which you can sell and get money for. You can find out more about this and see if there's an opportunity there. So this is a secret weapon. So there's this guy on, let me see if I can show you. Okay, so here's the company. It's called directliquidations.ca. So this guy, I met the owner, and this guy makes like millions of dollars. And he came by to try to buy some of my products, and he like it was like $50,000 worth of products, and he offered me $2,000. So I basically kicked them out. And then when he was leaving, I asked him, I said, what are you thinking? Like, why would you think I'm going to give you this much worth of product for $2,000? Like, are you just a crazy person, or what's your mentality? Because I always need to understand, why did that person say that? And he was like, he basically told me, he's like, Ali, like, we bought a huge container of Zara clothing a couple months ago that was worth like $400,000, and we paid $10,000 for it. I was like, how? He's like, this like Zara makes so many pieces of clothing, not just Zara, Banana Republic, all Gucci, Louis, all these other brands. They make mass production. And a lot of times they make way too much because it costs them little. Clothing costs very little money. Like, if I pay $90 for this, it probably costs them like $5 to make. So they make so many pieces. Here's the guy. This is the guy. This a-hole. This is the guy that came by. And he if you know him, you can tell him I called him an a-hole. And I have no problem with that. So he's like, they make so much, like, you see, it even says like new arrivals from Amazon, KitchenAid, Dyson, Moe's, whatever it is. They make so many pieces and so much production because they also want to get their costs down. So the more they make, the lower their cost. And if it doesn't sell, they're left with all these products and they just want to get rid of them, right? So you can buy it for cheap, for basically free. Even Amazon, because Amazon sells like tens of billions of dollars a year, a lot of times their returns or their excess inventory, they just give away for free. So if you just go find where you can get these products at very cheap pricing or very low pricing, you can make a lot of money with it, because it's literally money that you're grabbing for free, essentially. Even one of my friends, they have a business installing, if you're watching this right now, you know who you are. They have a business installing railings. And I was talking to him the other day. He had this huge railing. And I was like, how much did this cost you to make? He's like, free. So I was like, what? Like, this is probably what, like, you probably charge like $10,000 to the customer when you install this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, how did you, what do you mean free? He's like, oh, we went and did a job for someone, a new railing, and they had this old railing and they didn't want it. They didn't have the space. They didn't want to put it in their house. So we offered them, we said, do you want us to just take it for you? And they're like, yeah, sure, take it. Because it avoids them having to like take it to like a garbage disposal place and pay to dump it and all that stuff. So he took it and then he sold it for like almost $1,000. So he took something for free, he turned it into $1,000. Okay, really look into this. This I like I've seen this with many people who do this and they make a lot of money. Like when I say a lot of money, I mean they make millions of dollars like this. Okay. So that's it. Notes, we all have different mentalities, and you might see opportunity where I do not. So use your own mindset and grow your company tree. So these are just some ways, not always. I have 1,000 different things in my mind that I could tell you, but that would create like a 200-page PDF, and the video will probably be 3 days long. Um, but we all have different mentalities, right? So maybe this thing I told you here, for you, this is the least interesting thing ever. You're like, I don't want to deal with this. And you might have a different idea. But the point is to tap into your mentality, really use your life experience. Maybe if you're a realtor, you're an accountant, you're a dentist, whatever you are, your life experience was different than mine. So you might see opportunities where I do not. See what you can see, the opportunities you can put together, and use it to de-risk yourself and to get out of Amazon while Amazon is funding you to be able to look for these new opportunities. So that's it for this 10 class module. From here, go through the rest of the training because the real game is about to start for you. If you've already done the program and you finished it and now you're just coming and reviewing these 10 classes, I hope you enjoyed them. I really put a lot of effort into it. It took weeks and weeks to put this together, and try to do a recording when you're talking and trying to make your point and educating for 40 minutes, for 2 hours. Your brain goes like it becomes like mashed potatoes. So it is not easy to do this. I hope you guys take value out of it, because it's one thing for me to show you this stuff and educate you. It's another thing for you to be able to get value out of it, right? It's your job, your responsibility to listen to this, to read these PDFs, and you have to take the value out of it. Okay. It's not my job to push the value into your brain. It's your job to take it from what you're seeing here. So that's it for this class. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.